Red Bull have copied Ferrari's Macarena wing for the Miami Grand Prix, but their interpretation pushes the concept in a completely different direction, and several analysts already reckon they have built a better one. Here is everything we know about the radical new rear wing, the rest of the upgrade package, and what it could mean for Verstappen this weekend. Welcome back to Racecraft. On 23 April 2026, Red Bull held a private filming day at Silverstone with Max Verstappen behind the wheel, and the car that rolled out of the garage carried Red Bull's own version of the Macarena wing. The engineering execution looked completely different. Technical analyst Paolo Filicetti reported that Red Bull kept a central vertical actuator as the main rotation mechanism, rather than copying Ferrari's twin actuator system embedded in the lateral end plates. The result is a wing that rotates roughly 110 to 120 degrees in a single direction, though some sources put the figure closer to 160 degrees. Either way, the rotation range comes in significantly smaller than Ferrari's, and crucially, the flap moves in the opposite direction. Red Bull have also retained the central support structure entirely, where Ferrari removed it to enable the wider range of motion. On paper, Red Bull's wing sounds like a downgrade with less rotation, a simpler mechanism, and a smaller range of motion. Early analysis suggests the opposite might be true once the cars hit the track in Miami. By keeping the central actuator and limiting the range of movement, Red Bull have sidestepped the lengthy reliability program Ferrari have been working through for months. The simpler system also activates faster, which matters enormously on a circuit with multiple straight-line mode zones, where every millisecond of activation delay costs lap time. Comparative analysis from Racing News 365 indicates Red Bull's interpretation offers a more efficient operating window than Ferrari's original. At 5 to 10 kilometers per hour, that is the straight line speed gain internal estimates are projecting. At a venue like the Miami International Autodrome, with 3 active aero zones and long flat sections, that translates to several tenths of a second per lap, and on a sprint weekend with limited practice time, that kind of advantage could prove decisive. Ferrari have never actually raced the Macarena wing. They trialed it again during practice at Suzuka but pulled it before qualifying, and Lewis Hamilton later admitted the team had rushed it to China without enough validation. Reliability sat at the heart of the problem. The twin actuator mechanism proved mechanically complex, integration in race conditions came back inconsistent, and Ferrari could not guarantee the system would survive a full Grand Prix distance. A refined version is expected to arrive in Miami, but the original concept has effectively sat on the shelf since Shanghai while the engineers worked through the issues. The Macarena wing copy carries the headline, but it is far from the only change on the RB22. Red Bull have also redesigned the sidepod profile, modified the winglets, and revised the front wing elements. Extensive work on weight reduction sits alongside those aero updates. The car has reportedly been running 9 to 10 kilograms above the minimum weight limit, and that excess has been a significant factor in the chassis feeling heavy and difficult for the drivers to extract performance from. Every kilo removed translates directly into lap time under the new 2026 rules. Strip that weight away, combine it with a cleaner aerodynamic flow from the new wings, and the car should respond very differently through the corners. What Red Bull have built is a comprehensive aerodynamic and structural overhaul, not a single bolt-on upgrade. One warning sign emerged from the Silverstone test that needs flagging. Reports from the filming day suggest the drivers found the updated RB22 tricky to handle on its first run. That is not unusual for a fresh aero package, but it does mean some elements of the upgrade could get scaled back or refined before the cars roll out for first practice in Miami. Red Bull have also been candid that this is not an instant fix. Team principal Laurent Mekies has openly stated that nobody should expect miracles and that the gap to championship leaders Mercedes will not close in a single weekend. Mekies has framed Miami as what he calls a second season launch, telling the Beyond the Grid podcast that every car on the grid will look significantly different to what we saw at Suzuka. The atmosphere inside the Milton Keynes factory, in his own words, is full attack mode with fire in every single department. Red Bull genuinely need this upgrade to deliver. 6th in the Constructors' Championship, behind Haas and Alpine. With a power unit performing strongly but a chassis that has held the entire program back, the team have run out of margin for further setbacks. If the Macarena wing copy delivers the kind of straight-line gain analysts are projecting, Verstappen could realistically be back in podium contention by the end of the weekend. If it does not, the conversation around Red Bull's 2026 season is going to get a lot louder. That covers everything we know about Red Bull's Macarena wing copy heading into the Miami Grand Prix. Drop your prediction in the comments and let us know whether Red Bull's simpler version will outperform Ferrari's original. or whether the limited range of motion will hit a ceiling that Ferrari's twin actuator system was built to break through. Hit subscribe for full Miami Sprint weekend coverage as it happens.